Welcome back, everyone, to another Friday live stream. And in this live stream, we're going to do some coast to coast driving, something I haven't done in over 2 years, maybe even three. So, but we'll get to that in a minute. First, let's see who's here early and on time. Let's see, we got Matt Walter is here early. Lobo 1G is here early. Drive is here early. Good to see you, Drive. I saw the other thing you said later, farther down. I'll get to that in a second. Ken Beard is here. Lowrider is here. Vigner is here. Pugwash is here. Pugwash, the answer to your question while you're watching whilst driving, what could possibly go wrong? The answer to the question is unintended consequences. If you haven't already, see the video I sent you. Let's see, Vigner's. Okay. He's talking to someone else. Susan Arthur is here. Morning, Susan. I know it's early for you. That's my spot. JJ Man 1982 is here, also known as Trucking Through Video, or ATS Gamer, I think is what he goes by in the Discord. Let's see. Nicholas is here. Hey, Nicholas. I've been meaning to reach out to you all week. Just been really busy. I do want to get together and catch up, see how things are going in your world, talk about what we're going to do moving forward. See where we are on things. Anyway, but glad to see you in the live chat. So is Coast to Coast run with our version of ATS, Pro Mods, and Louisiana? Our version of ATS? Well, I'll show you the map in a minute. I do have Pro Mods Canada in Alaska or active on this profile, but that's not going to come into play today. So, I just left them in and added Coast to Coast and some other stuff. Let's see. Yeah. Nicholas has got it right. That's what could go wrong, Pugwash. Matthew Roth. Good evening from a cold Essexville, Michigan. Boomer, it's just above 0 degrees. Well, you can keep that stuff. Yeah. Good after. Oh, I already said that. Nightbot is here, so watch your P's and Q's. Turn off that caps lock key and don't spit out too many emojis, or Nightbot will get you. I guarantee it. Bretton Doherty is here. Have you tried East Meets Mid-North expansion mod? No, I have not. I have got some other mods, not in today's drive, but during tomorrow's members live stream, I'll be introducing some other stuff that I've learned about. And I am not familiar with I've seen it. East Meets Mid-North expansion. Maybe I need to check it out. So Banff is here. Oztec is here. Rick Rashid is even here. How about that? How you feeling, Rick? Hope you're feeling better. Last year we drove. Oh, last January, 689,000 miles. And so far this January, we've driven 638,000 miles. So we're moving right along. We are doing incredibly well in ATS on TrucksBook. People are just cranking out the miles, myself included. You know, I struggle a lot of times to get the minimums of 10,000 miles each month in both games. Last month and this month, I haven't done even close to minimums in Euro Truck. But this month, I think I've got over 25,000 miles in American Truck. I'm going to do some more today, but we fell back into 11th place. So we're doing great on TrucksBook and American Truck Simulator. We have fought our way up through the ranks I mean, I'm happy to be in the top 20, but earlier today, well, let me just say that yesterday or earlier this week, we clawed our way up to 12th place and then 11th place. And then for a short time this morning, we were in 10th place. We're back in 11th place, but only by about 600 miles. So we'll just keep on driving. Folks are driving now on American Truck, I assume. I'm going to be driving American Truck here in a minute, and we are just gangbusters this month. I didn't think, Vigner, I didn't think to compare it to last year, so that's a good thing to do. Let's see, Pro Mods Africa looks good. I haven't seen it yet, except that one trailer. I guess I didn't think that was Africa, but maybe it is. Still sick, huh? That sucks. Let's see. Vigner is 11,275 miles behind you. Behind me? Let me have a look at that. Excuse me while I check myself. Yes. Vigner is behind. We've got 23 of our drivers have met the minimums already this month, and people are still driving. So hopefully we'll get a bunch more that will do the minimums. I mean, it's just incredible. Okay. Yes, you. Okay. Um, let's see. What was it? Oh, I'm gonna do some shout outs first. Let's see. We have got Isabella Hagloff, Rob Strecker, aka Lurch, is not in the Discord with me to read your chat. He is, he lives in Wisconsin, and they're about to get nailed with some pretty brutal weather. Or maybe they already are. But he said he was going to go out and do, he earns extra money with DoorDash, and he says he was going to go out and make some extra money today. And then not go out all weekend when the weather is really bad. Bedrock. Bedrock is our top ATS driver for February 2023. Ken Lansdowne, welcome to the stream. I have so far managed to play every day this month, and I'm hoping to keep it up all month. Oh, that's Kate Busman. Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. Let me see. Where are you in the placements? Fourth place. Fourth place. Yeah, he's doing great. He is even beating Shorty. Pilot Bro took off this month too. So yeah, a lot of folks are driving their butts off. You've had 70 centimeters of snow already this year. Wow. And you're getting 25 Sunday. Wow. Adam Buser is here. Yeah. Nicholas says I'm up there too, at least in real life. Yeah. Doing that real life trucking. Bill Welburn, Nicholas Triple XN, Susan Arthur, our top Euro truck driver for December 2025, and our top American truck and Euro truck driver for all of 2025. Captain Minnesota, Omega Trucking, our top ATS driver for January 2024. Trucker Kitty, Norwegian Trucker Nicholas, Big Al 2424, our top ATS driver for March 2025. And our top ATS driver for all of 2023. Speaking of Big Al, he did a big old run last night, my time, so about 12 hours ago. He drove from Corpus Christi, Texas, all the way up to Mickelson Bay in Alaska. 3,583 miles is what he logged. What did he actually drive? Let me see. That's what he got credit for. Oh, that's what he drove. 3,583 miles. So, and he took the ferry from Port Angeles up to Alaska. So, Yes, Adam, I did hear about the upcoming snowstorm. I was just talking about it. Not going to affect me, but I know it's going to affect a lot of other people. Go ahead and vote. No, it's Nightbot. Well, I think of it, the Sunday convoy will be an ATS. See if we can add some more miles. Haven't posted it yet. We'll do it after this drive. Awesome. Yes, we will rack up some more miles. Tasmified, Johnny Hansen. Lobo 1G, our top Euro truck driver for July 2025. Bugwash, our top Euro truck driver for April 2024, and he's shaping up to be the top driver for this month. Yeah, cranking out the miles. Phantom 6767, our top Euro truck driver for October 2024. Wim 55, our top ATS driver for March 2024. David Long, aka Shorty, our top American truck and Euro truck driver for September 2025. You know, he's a hard charger. And Wolf Tank 71. Okay, that's the first batch. Those are the flatbedders. Lots of ice and power outages all over, I am sure. Yep, I am sure. So, speaking of which, that reminds me, I have lost my internet 2 days in a row for unknown reasons. And I mean, I got notification from my provider via text that they were aware of the problem and were working on it, and they got it up. They got it back up both days. But if something should happen during this live stream and I lose connectivity, I may just have to shut down the stream because it took like a half an hour before. So we'll just play it by ear and hope nothing happens today. So let's get going. Let me start by saying, there we are. And where are we? Anybody recognize this place? This Liebherr? Oh, there's a clue in the lower right corner. It is Farmington, New Mexico. So we're in the northwest corner of New Mexico. And we've got a cotton harvester, and we're going to take that thing all the way to Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, why are we going to Raleigh, North Carolina? Adam, semis do not, unless they're specially equipped for snow handling. But no, they do not. So it's been over 2 years since I had Coast to Coast installed on my system. And actually, my other profile, I've got even more. I had a dedicated Coast to Coast profile that I created. So I had a lot discovered. So I don't really have anything discovered in this profile, except I did a run down here to Columbus, South Carolina the other day. So that's why this yellow is here. But in my other profile, I did a run to Clarksville, Tennessee, right here. And I was actually surprised that the scenery has gotten a little better. The quality of the scenery in Coast to Coast has improved. So I haven't been out to North Carolina yet, at least not, I've been in Asheville. And actually this area here where it crosses over between Knoxville and Asheville, I was disappointed with that particular area, and we'll go through there today and I'll talk about why. Well, I'll just say it's a beautiful drive right there. But one of the things that I remember was the sparse landscape, occasional trees dotted over a green landscape. It was 3 years ago. It was unimpressive. So we'll see how it looks today. Now, tomorrow during the members live stream, I'm going to talk about a new project that I am working on. Mikey Doucette is here. Welcome to the stream, Mikey. I'm going to talk about a new project that I'm working on, and within that project, I am using even more map mods or map related mods. And that's going to help with that project. So I actually need to learn a little bit more about this East meets Mid North mod. I need to go check that out, I think. See if that, because one of the things that now I'm seeing is, well, we've got all these cities over here. Well, I guess we still have a lot of cities over here, but not so much up here. So, but I'm not going to talk about that anymore today. I'll talk about it tomorrow during the members live stream. So if you want to get in on that and see what I'll be talking about tomorrow, click that join button and grab a membership. Even the lowest level dry van hauler will be able to attend that tomorrow. All right, let's go back to truck. I am driving my Peterbilt 579 this week because the Peterbilt 579 is the truck of the week for Trucky achievements. I have done quite a few of those runs. What happened? Why am I? Oh, I got to turn this on. Thing weighs 44,100 pounds. We just wanted to check something. Pilot and I were having a discussion earlier in the week about something to do with these low boy trailers. What's going on over here in the chat? Brenda, you can run East meets Mid North mods with coast to coast. I am aware of that. I just don't know what it does. So if you can tell me what it does, that will help me make a decision. Is there any mods that will kick someone out of Trucky or TrucksBook, or just not? What? Mods like modifications, like coast to coast mods, or moderators? Are you having trouble with someone? Oops, not what I meant to do. Are you having trouble with someone in Trucky or TrucksBook? Let's see. Remember when a massive flood took out I-40 in Western North Carolina? Yes. I wasn't driving truck at the time, but I certainly was paying attention to it in the news. I've been using this trailer a lot this week. Low bed or low boy. Thank you, Mikey. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. So they're still working on it? Yeah, that was messed up. But it's a beautiful drive through that area. Between Knoxville, Tennessee, and Asheville, North Carolina. A lot of windy roads. Lintus Fobs, welcome to the stream. Oops, gotta pay attention. Ready. Is that JJ? Modifications. No, not having issues. Just know my luck, and I'd hate to download a mod and it bite me by kicking me out of a system. Just, well, TrucksBook and Trucky are not that kind of a system. They don't kick you out because of mods or anything else. Your game either works or it doesn't. It either records and tracks your miles or it doesn't. So no, that's not possible. However, and I don't remember if you're doing hardcore, Trucky hardcore or not, but there are a lot of mods that are forbidden for use and will not qualify for hardcore points. And there's a whole description, not a list of them, but a description of the types of mods that are affected. Megatron Decepticon, welcome to the stream. Welcome back. So one of the reasons why I chose this particular route, or yeah, destination, was it sits right along Interstate 40. I was looking at coming as far away as Barstow, which is the other end of Interstate 40, until I realized how far it was. I don't remember how far it was, but this one's 1,800 miles. Forgot to mention that at the beginning. Yeah, Vigner, I agree. It is not realistic at all, that particular stretch. And it will be interesting to see how SCS handles that. Oh, did everybody see that SCS has announced Book 3 for the Driving Academy? They talked about it during one or more of their live streams this past week. Plus, they posted about it on their official blog today. Come on, Vigner, give it a try. I would say it can't be that hard because I don't think you're going to have to back the doubles. Yeah, we are getting close to Illinois. So, yeah, you may be right about that. 159 maybe. I mean, well, we haven't even seen the open beta for Illinois yet. Now, since this is not a World of Trucks load, I have to be more mindful of the time. So, once I get to my stopping location, then I'll have to sleep right away. And by the way, I forgot to show you where that is. I do have a stop already planned. I guess I could look at that real quick. Clinton, Oklahoma. Right there. It is 9.5 hours and 580 miles away. 9.5 hours. Yep, we got 12 hours on the clock, so that builds in a buffer for any delays. You did those pretty quick. Are you watching on from both accounts? Norwegian trucker Nicholas, a channel flatbedder for 36 months, and Nicholas Triple XN, a flatbedder for 39 months. Now I got to also watch out because I can speed if I'm not careful. I'm actually going to lock in my cruise control at 65-ish. Yep. Have you been to North Carolina or Tennessee? And are you asking me that, Adam? Of course I have. This route that we're gonna, as soon as we get on Interstate 40 down here in Albuquerque, I have driven that all the way across North Carolina, all the way to the end of I-40, where I don't know if it stops at I can't remember the city name. Let me look real quick. Yeah, we're gonna take all day if I keep looking at the map. But it actually ends. Well, this is Wilmington, so maybe it does go all the way to Wilmington. I don't know if I've been to Wilmington, but I have been all the way on I-40 from Barstow all the way to at least Interstate 95. I didn't drive that at all in one run. I drove that over the course of many different jobs. I love North Carolina. Beautiful. The whole area around Asheville, oh, just very scenic. I spent some time up near Asheville before I was even a truck driver. There's a, I can't remember the name, is the Biltmore or something? A mansion or something up there that turned into a hotel. It's Lure Lake, I think it is. And Chimney Rock. Oh my God. I went up on Chimney Rock. Woo-wee, gave me the willies. Made my knees weak. Biltmore Estate, that's it. Yeah, I didn't go to that, but you know, you could see it. And there's a lot of stuff in the area that talks about it. That's a fancy coffee mug you have there, driver. Where can we get one? Well, thank you for asking. You can get one in the merch store. Oh, that's damage. There goes my hardcore score. So much for my 5 stars. Yes, merch store is open. Help yourself. A long drive, so do a little shopping along the way. Thank you, drive, because I always forget. And then, of course, I have a little plain bumper cars in the process. 85. Oh, we're coming up on Interstate 25. Wiz is here. Coast to coast is the only way to go. Actually, I should have mentioned the reason I put coast to coast. I wasn't going to put coast to coast back in, but I'd already been talking to Caliber about it, or he'd been talking about it with me. He had asked me had I driven in it. I told him I had, and I wasn't that impressed with it. And then Wiz Nation wanted coast to coast, and Pilot Bro was helping him, and I kind of tagged along to get in the way while he was trying to help, and I got intrigued by it again. So I decided to put it in and check it out, and then an idea started percolating. And so now I've gone down that rabbit hole hard. Deep, I guess I should have said. Oh yeah. Yeah, that counts. But I'm turning it off except when I need to have it on. And east towards Santa Rosa. What a view, huh? There's nobody coming, I can't see. Forgot to put my mirrors up. There. Yeah, that's distracting. Wiz, are you getting snow in this storm? Or expecting to? Expecting to, okay. Welcome to my all over the road trucking adventure. Three feet of ice predicted. Hey, Trucker John is here. Welcome. Oh, it's raining right now, so it's going to turn to ice. No, Mikey, that was not a Swifty. I didn't hit anything that I know of. Oh yeah, Susan. They've had some pretty brutal snowstorms over the last several years. Not every year, but there was what, 3 or 4 years ago, I think. I don't remember when. But well, anyway, a few years ago, they had a really bad winter storm. Took out power and everything for lots and lots of people. Oh, 2021? Okay, so it was 5 years ago. Yeah, it was a really bad ice storm. Not the whole state, mind you, but up in the northern third of the state, I think. Yeah, that storm made the news. I'm noticing my fuel economy is pretty good right now. I'm over 6 miles per gallon. This heavy-ish load. But I'm not pushing past 65, except when I pick up speed, going down a decline like I was just a minute ago. So this route, I've talked about it before. Interstate 40, back and forth across Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma. I have, over the years, I drove back and forth on this route many times. I don't want to say hundreds, because I don't think it was hundreds, but I don't think saying dozens gives it justice either. It was a lot. Both directions. A lot of the times at at Oklahoma City, then I would head up Interstate 44, because I'd be heading up towards St. Louis, usually beyond. Actually, I remember a trip I took from Phoenix to St. Louis. This was the route that I took until I got to Oklahoma City, where I got on Interstate 44 through Tulsa, Joplin, all the way to St. Louis. Jeremy Smith, welcome to the stream. I didn't see you pop in. Just now. Yeah, Nicholas, I think the reason that it made the news in Europe, even, well, all over the world, I think, is because it is a bit of a freak thing for Texas to get an ice storm like they had. It was really bad. Oh, and like Susan said, she didn't even know they got snow in Texas. Well, they do get snow, but the storm we're talking about in 2021 was particularly bad. Hey, Susan! Susan has gifted 10 channel memberships to the community. Thank you, Susan. Let's see who those lucky recipients are. I'm gonna have to pause for this one. The Broyham Gamer, Matt Altendahl, HFCJ Gamer, Vernon Bunch, Allstoned, Gaming Cakes, Edmund Bouchard, Showman, Mr. No Assist, and Birds Gaming. Congratulations to those lucky recipients, and thank you to Susan. French toast sounds good. I'm going a little fast. A little faster than I intended to go. They've also got, whoa! So I've also got my little thermal carafe thing. This is awesome. And I've never used it for cold drinks, but I've heard that it works very well for cold drinks as well. That I use it for coffee. It works great for that. Meanwhile, here in Bergen, Norway, there is no snow at all. That is bizarre. And Drive says they're getting liquid sunshine in the UK. Well, go figure. Rain in the UK. Ooh. Well, I hope you guys get stocked up on groceries and stuff between now and tomorrow. We are leaving New Mexico. Entering Texas. Yeah, these wind turbine blades over here, those things froze up during that storm. From what I hear. Whoa, look at what Drive made me do. Drive with the $10 super chat. Why didn't it? Oh, he tipped. That's not a super chat or super sticker. That's a tip. Thank you, Drive. John, why do you miss living in Jersey? You're not too far from there, are you? Megatron Decepticon says we just had a big storm in New Zealand in the middle of our summer. Luckily it didn't affect me, but it was pretty bad with landslides and other slips. Wow. We must be coming into Amarillo. We got to slow down. I think the speed limit is 60 all the way through here. Ah. You know, as somebody who grew up in the Pacific Northwest, even though I got around a lot of the country before I became a truck driver, I really hadn't been to the East Coast. I'd lived in 11 different, 8 different states before I even became a truck driver. Because of my time in the military and my previous corporate career, I lived in a lot of different places. So, but I still, for the most part, had not been out to like New York. I mean, I'd flown into the airports on my way to and from Europe, but that was just basically at the airport. I wasn't really familiar with the area. Now I did fly into whatever that airport is just north of New York City. Straddles, like it's right on the New York state line. It's in Connecticut. Anyway, I flew into that one time in our corporate jet because we had a golf tournament up in upstate New York, well, up north of there a little ways in New York. And that was my only exposure to that area. I was surprised at how many trees there were. But I had this misconception that New Jersey and New York, at least the area around New York City, was just one big megapolis with no greenery. There's houses and buildings. So when I became a truck driver and I got out there, I was surprised at how green it was. How many trees there were when I drove into New Jersey. I'm like, well, this isn't at all what I expected. So it's funny how you can get these misperceptions. I mean, I kind of felt the same way about the Twin Cities before I ever went there. Because when you look on a map, an atlas, and you see all these suburbs and they all have different colors to denote one from the next, and you think, well, that's just one big massive mass of suburbs. Well, turns out there's a lot more to it. Well, I know it's the Garden State, but a lot of those states got their names before they blew up in population. Yeah, Central Park is green, yeah, and there's other parks all over. I just had this perception, and I probably shouldn't have, because I spent a lot of time growing up in Seattle, and they have a lot of parks and trees and a lot of green. So I don't know, I just had this vision, and it's funny to have that dispelled when you actually go to the place. Caliber is here. Talking about you earlier. Yeah, South Jersey. I was surprised at that. I didn't know there were farms in New Jersey. You know, it's funny. You know, I think of New Jersey, and I had this perception of like the Sopranos. You know, it's just full of people like that, and places like that. It was weird when I learned that hey, there's farming in New Jersey. Who would have thunk it? But then again, being around dairy farms in Washington State, I was surprised to learn that Wisconsin is the dairy state. Like, who the heck thinks Wisconsin has more farms than Washington? Well, turns out they do. They have more farming anyway. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. It would be nice to see how South Carolina tackle the northeastern part of the U.S. Yep, it will be. John, the reason when I found out that there was farming, it's actually from playing Farming Simulator. One of the early maps that I enjoyed a lot was based in the real area of East Vineland in New Jersey. I had to go look it up. I'm like, what? There's no farms like this in New Jersey. Well, yeah, turns out there is. I mean, that makes sense. America was basically founded by, or most everybody were farmers. Either, well, various different types of farming, but agriculture was a big thing in the 1700s and 1800s all over the world. Yeah, Adam, I didn't really. That didn't enter my mind, but there are. Every metropolitan area has parks because greenery is important, I think, to the human psyche. Did we just enter Oklahoma, or we're about to? Oh, I got a bypass. Yay. It's funny, Nicholas. I've never played any of the Grand Theft Auto series, so actually I didn't even know they had one in New York. I thought they're all based in Southern California. I know I've got to be missing some chat here. Rest stop is coming up. So I'm not the only one with that misperception. JJ man. Ooh. Somebody had something deleted by Nightbot. Who was that? And Andre Benifer. You want to dance? Stop spamming. Turn off that caps lock key. I wasn't kidding. Nightbot will get you. Oh. Wow. Small world. In Redmond, Washington. I'm pretty familiar with Redmond, Washington. Live near there. A lot of farms there, actually. I mean, Washington is the evergreen state. So we're known for our evergreen trees. But does this lane end? Jeez. Yikes. Okay, I can see our truck stop up ahead. I think I'll get my trailer repaired since I got a little bit of damage. I remember driving out here in this part of Oklahoma, between here and Oklahoma City, going the other way one time. Bad storm going through. It was south of the interstate, but I was worried about it. This guy got almost this dark. I'll have to catch up on the chat once I get stopped. Way to turn in. Will do, I guess. I'm going to, I don't need fuel, so I'm just going to hit this repair. I know I did a little bit of damage to the trailer. Yep, a little bit. Yep, there's the yawn. Thor is here. How's everything going, Thor? All right, let's go to, you know what? I'm just going to sit here for a minute, catch up on the chat. Let's see. That Caliber. Well, I appreciate the offer, but you don't have access to this area of the Discord. Plus, I'm kind of particular. Taking me months, years even, to get Lurch whipped into shape. Let's see. JJ says, I was amazed seeing her area of Washington with so many trees on Google Street View. Yep. I remember calling it God's country. From what I saw, it was gorgeous. Around Ames Lake. I don't know specifically about Ames Lake. I mean, I'm not familiar with that particular lake, but yeah, I grew up there, at least in my early childhood. It's every place should look like that. It's beautiful. Drive says, need to call it a night, boss. 2 days off in the last 12 and my body aches where I didn't know it could. I will have 4 days off. So time to catch up on Discord and other stuff. Have a great, good trip. You still haven't talked to them about all those hours at your job. That's crazy. I know. You're lucky to have it. But still. You're a hard-working man. Let's see. Looks like we're in Tango. In Tango with the VTC that is currently in 10th place on TrucksBook. Yeah, I don't know who that is off the top of my head, but yeah, I'm surprised we even got the 10th. But then, yeah, it's over 300,000 to 9th. 300,000 miles. We'll have to catch up, Thor. Okay, there's that. Now I want to do a few shout outs. Trucking Through Video. That's JJ Man 1982. Nick, David H74, RD04 Dave, our top ATS driver for March 2023. Troken, Douglas Williams. JC Drives, our top Euro truck driver for March 2025. Thomas Berger, Lee01 Mister, Lee Jenkins, Pancake Man, Ken Beard, Rumpy Gruntpaw Gaming, Bogdan BD, Salim Badiaga. Welcome to the stream. I hope I didn't butcher that too badly. Let me hit that sleep button. See the crickets going? That was pretty cool. Nice touch. Take a look at the map. We should have 14 hours. So if I do 11 to 12 hours before planning the next stop. Hey, why is it a 2? Where's the 1? Didn't hit the 1. Silly me. That's only 8 hours. Bill. Oh, there's the place here. Pull out. I think I'll take that. Yeah, probably get fuel there too. 10 hours, 40 minutes. There's no delays. Trying to buy a new wheel. I need advice or Logitech. Well, I use Logitech G923. Link in the description below. I also did a video on it 3 years ago now. Or 4. But it's actually my second one because after 3 years, my first one failed. I started having issues with it, and I broke it trying to fix it. So I got another one. I like it that much. So how's that for an endorsement? Okay. Road trip nerd Ryan. Hey, there's Pilot Bro. How serious are you, Moza? Oh, now he's gonna come in here and push the Moza. Yeah. Well, Pilot Bro, he's a good source of information. A lot of people like the Moza. If you can afford it, that's probably the way to go. Ken Maselman, Herbert Harris, Wiz Nation, our top ATS driver for October 2025. John Whitesall, our top ATS driver for August 2025. TJ Yates, Mohammed Helmi, Jaffo729, Large Caliber Gaming, because he membered up twice, and Gnarled Bones. Okay, I got through all the member shout outs, so I can just focus on driving and running all over the road, reading chat. If you are interested in having your name shouted out during most live streams, then click that join button and select reefer hauler or above. Okay, now he's talking over Med because I don't know anything about R3, R4, no R2D2, but let's get on the road. Evan Matthews, welcome to the stream. Let's do it. Whoops. A little closer to the other truck. Not a good idea. By the way, if I haven't mentioned it in a while, I do have a sim panel button box that I use for various things, like my parking brake. So with the steering wheel and pedals, the shifter, the shift topper, button box, my game is pretty immersive. th place in Trucky. I keep forgetting to look at that. Yes, in the track IR for head tracking. That makes a huge difference. Oh, fuel economy is up over 7 miles per gallon now. That's pretty good. Ignar, he was talking about driving distance, not hardcore. For hardcore, we're in fourth place. Yes, this is Boomer's Trucknado Transport. Links to learn more about the VTC are in the description below. You must be a member of our community Discord, though. That is a requirement. And we follow all of the traffic rules. We drive like we simulate real truck driving. A lot of us do hardcore on Trucky, too. So all the information is, if you click on one of the links in the description below to go to Trucky or TrucksBook, read the company description. All of that information is there. We've got a big push on TrucksBook for ATS for this month. currently in 11th place overall, which is pretty impressive. All right, I gotta pause to read this. Do I have a mod for headlights? I use brighter headlights. So yeah, I mean they're better than they used to be, but I used to use bright, and SES made improvements early last year, about a year ago. But it's still not as good as what some mods do. Bright headlights is a good mod. Brighter headlights is a better mod, I think, for headlights. Let's see. Join the Discord to start. Yes, Discord name, link in the description below. Boomers Gamers. Devin Matthews. I'm currently trying out the police traffic 2.0. Yep, brighter headlights. There you go. Okay, I'm caught up. We're going to take 40. Now, this particular route I didn't take nearly as often as going up 44 or even 35. And I went this way a few times. Mostly it came from the other direction. There it is, the static. There's a aviation museum there at that Air Force base. I love looking at airplanes. Can't believe that guy let me over. It never happens. That's weird. Megatron Decepticon says I managed to finish all the events and get both the plushies. So that was good. December was a busy month in the truck simulator world. Whoa. Yikes. Yes. I have noticed that the end of the year can be quite hectic. Last year we had the release of 2 map DLCs. One in, well, let's see, we had Nordic Horizon and then Louisiana, plus the Halloween event, plus the Winter Wonderland event. Yeah. I used to use a police car mod, but it was one that included the proper skins for the police in different areas. But I think SCS has got a pretty good handle on that right now. Yes, Tinker Air Force Base. You're right, Bigner. That's what it is. Couldn't think of the name for some reason. I guess I'm getting old. Ah. So we're still driving across the base game areas with map DLCs. Let's see. This is where are we? Oklahoma. Getting close to Arkansas. While I'm driving and talking about DLCs and things, we know we've got Illinois coming up. I'd say within the next 2 months. So probably by March, I'm guessing. I'm giving some thought to this year's All States Challenge and All Europe Challenge. And that's another thing, by the way, there, Salim. We do a couple of big challenges each year. One for American Truck Simulator and another one for Euro Truck Simulator. Now we finished, and that was another thing we were really busy with the latter part of the year last year. We set aside 3 months for those challenges. And the most recent one was the American Truck Simulator. Now, as a result of each of these challenges, the people that the top drivers or people that do the different things and different criteria for the challenge get to participate in a winner's convoy. We haven't had that yet. I'm having trouble scheduling it around people's schedules. But I'm already thinking about the next challenge, which should be, I think, American Truck Simulator. I want to try and fit it in so that Illinois gets included. So, I'm giving some thought to how to do it differently this year, and just so you guys know, if you've not been through it before, what we do for the All States Challenge is that we start in Las Vegas. Because that's where, as a company, that's where we're based out of, because that's where I live. And we do all of the states in alphabetical or reverse alphabetical order like we did last year. So that takes a while. Some people, it takes a couple of weeks or less. Some of us, it takes a couple of months. We do rack up a lot of miles. We do the same thing in Euro Truck. except it's countries instead of states. I think we've rolled into Arkansas already. Or we are rolling into Arkansas. I think that is the scale. On the other side, that's the port of entry, I think, for Oklahoma. Let's see. Let me catch up on the chat again. I gotta pause this so I can read these without crashing. Cool Waters Gaming, welcome to the stream. Haven't seen you in a while. What state are you in ATS? I just crossed from Oklahoma to Arkansas, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. In fact, let me do that real quick. I'll just pull up the map. We are driving from Farmington, where I started, to Raleigh, North Carolina. So we got coast to coast in here, and this is where we are. So let me catch up on the chat while y'all look at the map. I'm guessing Route 66 rework will come with the Illinois update? No, it'll come before the Illinois update. I'm pretty sure of that. Let's see, how's it going? Also, I already answered that. 22 likes. Only 22 likes? It depends where in the state and how far it is. Is it from the... I must have missed something there, Adam. And we're getting new country later this year in ETS2. Isn't that Iceland? You ever heard of it? I just said that because Vigner's from Iceland. Okay. Oh, that's another thing too, Salim. Afriking. So make sure your TrucksBook and or Trucky names match your Discord name. Mikey says he would love to see Mexico and South America added to the map. You know, they might be at some point. We are going north into British Columbia. We'll see. To the next state border is what I meant to say. Hopefully ATS will add the North Carolina DLC because North Carolina is a big state. Well, I'm sure they will. It's just a matter of when. Got a lot of states to get to in the meantime. We got Illinois coming up. South Dakota is coming up. And I would imagine North Dakota would be sometime after that. Then Minnesota, Wisconsin, and then all the rest of the Midwest states before any of the Eastern states come up. What is Chucky? I don't know. Okay. Back to driving. Oh, that was awkward. We've got a ways to go before we cross into Memphis. In fact, that's where we enter the coast-to-coast area. Once we cross over the Mississippi River. Yeah, Adam, that's interesting. I wonder which will be the first Atlantic state. Will it be Florida? Or will it be one of the Carolinas? Or Georgia? I was going to let that RV go past me before I moved over, but I guess he opted not to. Vehicle's not in perfect technical state. Well, shame on the mess. It happens. See ya, Mikey. Yeah, cool water. Everybody's getting hammered by that out Texas, Midwest, Atlantic states, Mid-Atlantic. Not me. We do get occasional rainstorms. Some of the, like the recent one that flowed up through California. We had rain several days that week. Now, one of the things that I'm going to be looking at is I leave Arkansas, the Arkansas DLC, and cross over into Tennessee, is how does the scenery look? I mean, how is it? Does it match Memphis? Because I've been to Memphis many times. But we'll see, and it won't be much longer. I don't believe we've got to Little Rock yet. Let's see here. Trailer tire wear, possibly. It was at 23% before, I think. Yeah, tire wear. Because the game mechanics with respect to the scale houses, I don't think they differentiate in wear versus damage. I don't have any damage because I just got the truck and trailer repaired. Oop. But even tire wear, it recognizes as damage. Let's see. Salim says you went to Trucky and I had my name already. Okay. If anyone looks at Tennessee State, it is flat in the west and mountainous in the east. That is correct. In the east, it gets into the Appalachians. Really, Vigner? I didn't hear that. Tennessee and Kentucky will be bundled? That's interesting. Well, you shouldn't use your phone. Salim, I'm looking on Trucky now and I do not see an application from you. If you just created your profile, that's just the first step. You also need to apply at the link in the description below. Be sure to read all the rules and information about our company. Well, let me make sure I don't need to refresh. Nope. I also do not see an application from you on TrucksBook. This is why you don't look at your phone while you're driving. Like I'm doing. Put my mirrors up so I can see. Yeah, we are still in 11th place on Trucky, or sorry, TrucksBook. We need about 3,000 miles to move into 10th again. Guess I don't really need that GPS screen up there. Although, isn't this the rest area with the hidden road? I don't have it on this profile. Oh, Bugwash with the super chat. Thank you, Bugwash. $2,659 miles to 10th place. Let's see. Daniel Henderson, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I was surprised that they chose not to do both of the Dakotas in one DLC. But as long as they do some really nice, awesome content in each of them, I'm okay with that. Oops. I'll look again, Salim. got a notification, which I assume is your application, in TrucksBook. And looks like I've got a notification in Trucky, so I'll get to those later on. Again, I just want to emphasize to make sure your names in all three, TrucksBook, Trucky, and Discord, all match. Let's see. Woo. See, anyone know that North Carolina has some rural areas, mountains, and a road that is by the coast? Yes, I know that since I've been there. Again, Asheville area is just gorgeous. And the eastern part of the state is all flatlands and with farming. Ooh, what do we got going on here? So let's see which way it's going to take us. Looks like we're going to go this way, which is what I always did when I drove through Memphis. I went on the north side. All right, this interchange that we're coming up to is the extent of Arkansas DLC. At this point forward, we are in coast-to-coast land. I mean, the scenery around here is still part of the Arkansas DLC. But we're driving on an area that is developed by coast to coast. And now we're going over the Mississippi River, but this is not what this bridge looks like. Well, that's unfortunate. This would be a steel girder bridge. Well, I don't know what goes into building that kind of stuff, so that may be why it's like that. Also, the Memphis Pyramid, I don't see it. And there's actually too many trees here. Something I remember seeing was the St. Jude Hospital. I think that's what it is. Well, it's a free mod, so you can't have too high expectations. And the road didn't go straight through, it went around the north side of town. The SCS will get it right, but with it being condensed down, they may have to do them together to make it work. It will be interesting to see how they work it. I agree. However, they may also adjust the scale. I'm not sure though. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it looks. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it looks. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it looks. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it looks. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it looks. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it looks. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it looks. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it looks. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it looks. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it looks. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it looks. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it looks. So as we get on the other side of Memphis as we are now, this is kind of how it And I got to go into another scale. By looking at the scale and how big the metro areas are in Tennessee and North Carolina. Yeah, we'll see. I'm more concerned about, you know, New York City and Boston, and how will the scale get hit? What? How did I get damage? How do I get damage from pulling over a scale? That guy behind me hit me or something? Salim, no, I can't. I have some record keeping to do in that process, which I can't do right now while I'm driving. Plus, I always look over all of the applications and your profile and stuff. So, I mean, you can drive. They just won't count towards the VTC miles. Yeah, big New England is very highly densely populated, especially Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, around Boston especially. Cool Waters Gaming, what mod version are you using? Which mod are you referring to? And I couldn't tell you anyway. I don't know. I guess the short answer is whatever mod it is that I'm using is the most current one. Yeah, Adam, I think that's a foregone conclusion. I mean, they don't do the areas very accurately. You just can't fit it all into based on the scale, unless you did 1-to-1. Well, Megatron, that's what I was thinking, and maybe whoever was behind me tapped me as he was pulling up, but I don't know. But yeah, if I didn't do it, it's not my fault. No Swifty. Nobody saw me. Can't prove nothing. Yeah, Adam, that whole area there, Newark, Bergen, North Bergen. Oh, that was my rest stop right there. Shoot. I am yakking away, losing track of time, or losing track of everything. Okay, well, we're not going there, so we'll have to stop somewhere up here. Nashville. Oh, let's see. I guess we could just go here. Hour and 41 minutes. Do I have that much time? I mean, I don't really have a choice. Oh yeah, I gotta get a move on. Welcome back, pilot. Well, Salim, while you're at it, make sure you get the TrucksBook client app and the Trucky app. Get those installed and working. Let us know in the Discord if you need any help with that. I did not catch the name of that river. And once you've set those apps up, you should do a test run anyhow. They'll still track your miles, but just not for the VTC. Was it the Tennessee River? Well, there's the first yawn. Had a chance to come to Nashville. Well, I've been to Nashville a few times, but my daughter, through her work at the time, she was gifted a trip to Nashville, and it included a stay. It was all inclusive. Well, anyway, she didn't. It was for two, and she was too young to be married and didn't have a boyfriend at the time. So she brought me along, or invited me along. So we went to Nashville for this thing that she got through work. We got to fly there, and at a hotel, all-inclusive hotel package. I don't remember the name of the place, but it sure was fancy. I mean, it was almost like Mall of America. And we had tickets to go on a riverboat cruise. It was a dinner cruise, and to go to a NASCAR truck race outside of Nashville. That was pretty cool. That riverboat cruise was really neat. We got to get back over again. Anyway, that riverboat cruise went up and down the Ohio River in Nashville. That's why I was looking at that sign to see, is that the Ohio River? It's a nice looking lit up building. Also, many decades ago, I got to go to the Grand Ole Opry. That was cool. My first wife and I, we went on our second honeymoon. Well, it was the first honeymoon, I think, because we didn't really do a first one. And we went to Nashville. Got to check out the Grand Ole Opry. That was neat. I haven't thought about that in years. Actually, when I say the Grand Ole Opry, we took a tour of the original Grand Ole Opry. I don't think we went to the new one for the show. I don't think we had that kind of money. But we did take a tour of the museum of the old one. Let's get this damage repaired again. Do need fuel too. Should have done that first, maybe. Well, I got damage to the truck, engine, and transmission. It's probably just wear though. And a little bit to tire, so I don't know what's up with that. But we'll get her fixed and get some fuel. See. Next river will be the Cumberland River. Okay. These two are big rivers connect to the Ohio River to the north. Okay. Maybe it was the Cumberland then. Maybe it was. Now I gotta dig into that. I bet you're right. Cumberland River. Yeah, because I think the Ohio River is actually on the separates. Oh, no, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank now. Okay, I need to find a place to park. Look at all this parking. Now, why do they have these trucks nosed in? Trucks don't park that way. Well, every once in a while somebody will, but as a general rule, we back into these parking spots. Okay, let me catch up on the chat here real quick. At about 50,000 miles, we'll hit the same amount of miles that we drove in January of last year. Okay, well, we just keep on doing what we're doing, and we've got the Sunday convoy will be in ATS, so Pugwash says. So Salim, you might want to get in on that. You don't have to, but it'd be nice. You may enjoy the convoying. You will need a microphone and headset microphone. A working mic. Let's see. Where are we? 6 a.m. And we have 442 miles to go, so we can do the rest of this run on this day. By the way, how am I doing for time? 36 hours remaining. We got this covered. Okay, let's look at the map one more time. So we got to drive through Knoxville. And then we're going to follow 40 this way through Asheville, points east. Okay. Let's see if I can get out this way. No, we cannot go that way. Yikes. So just a brief thought about coast to coast. Now that we've driven through almost half of Tennessee, it's still a little generic, but it doesn't seem to be as bad as I remember. I actually was going to go back and look at an old live stream that I did probably about 3 years ago. I did a handful of live streams in coast to coast. We did some convoys. You know, they were fun for traveling in areas that you can't in the base game yet. That reminded me of, took me back to my trucking days. So it did scratch that itch. But it's still pretty generic. But I think it's better than it was. Again, it's a map mod that covers half of the country. And it's free. So considering that, it's pretty good. I would say it's not up to the quality of the Alaska map mod, which is not free. We can stay in this lane. So this has got to be a labor of love for, people involved. So this looks to be the other side of the Nashville Metro, because there's a big loop that goes around to the north and to the south. Next up is Knoxville. Now this feels a little generic with these trees. Now, I have some interesting memories of this area from my trucking days. On the west side of Knoxville, which is where we are, there's a couple of truck stops that I spent time at a lot, just because they were in good locations. Convenient locations. Ooh, Chester's Fried Chicken. My favorite chicken stop. And on the east side, there's another couple of places. Yeah, Adam, I believe that's correct, because in western Tennessee, it's all mostly flatlands, floodplains. Eastern Tennessee gets into the Appalachians. Oh. I haven't been up in the northern areas of coast to coast yet, but that was my recollection too. Across the Dakotas, or at least South Dakota anyway. Not many trees, but it was still green. So that was something that I was always disappointed in with coast to coast. But again, it's a free map mod, so you can't expect too much. Oh, I thought that guy was going to move over. I guess we need to move over if we're going to follow 40 into North Carolina. Now that billboard back there, if you saw it, for Chester's Fried Chicken. When almost every time I had a chance to go there, I would go there and get fried gizzards. I love chicken gizzards. So I like chicken gizzards and livers and hearts. Huh. There's an area up here in real life where, and I had to go off the freeway a ways, but where I went and picked up a load of Bush's baked beans. It's a little hilly here. Lots of trees, so that's realistic. And there's a tunnel, just like they have in real life. Doesn't look exactly the same, but there is a tunnel. Another tunnel. Oops, couldn't find my horn button quick enough. Welcome to North Carolina. Bedrock. Yes, whoa. Well, there it is. That's a Swifty. Well, I'm going to hear about it now. Is that all it was 1%? Oh, let's see. I was excited when I saw Bedrock. I blame it on you. Actually, I was looking at this other one from Keyhook. Welcome to the stream, Keyhook. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Yes. I used some variation of that in the title of that video that I did. I actually that was one of my episodes of real life trucking. Your vehicle's not in perfect technical shape. Well, of course not. Woo! Gonna do a little flying with that new machine. Gonna turn that off so we're not distracted by it. You get caught up on chat again. Yeah, that was a Swifty. Vigner, it is similar to what it was. Oh, talking to him. 5070 Ti. Wow, I'm jealous. The trailer knocked the stop here sign over? Just now? Or at that scale? And this is Asheville. Well, let me tell you something. Asheville's way more hilly than this. And they don't have brown landscape like Arizona. So that's unfortunate. So was it the scale? Yeah, I completely missed that. Well, Bedrock, that's going to be exciting. You got any farming in your future? Or driving? Yeah. That's the problem. You're working so much and making money you can afford to get a fancy computer that you don't have time to use because you're working so much. That's the trade-off. Horsies! I guess I could move over, huh? Until I get forced back over again. So Bedrock, you should, if you're available, you should try to make it to tomorrow's members live stream, where I'm going to talk about a new project I'm working on for American Truck Simulator. Be looking to get input from channel members at that. Yeah, I've been there, Bedrock. Been about a decade and a half, but yeah. Say more than that. I was, my last corporate job, I was making a lot of money. I had time for nothing. I was doing so much traveling, especially the last few months of that job. We were working on a project out in California. I lived in Minnesota. And I would fly out to California for the job. Fly out there for 10 days, fly back home, go into the office, catch up on emails and paperwork. So I'd get home like Thursday or Friday. Yeah, Thursday. I get home Thursday, go into the office part of the time on Thursday, and then all day Friday, and sometimes on Saturday. And then spend Sunday getting ready to fly back out Monday again. I had no time to do anything else. Looks like a golf course. Almost. They pull you in on the weight just because they want to tell you the truck ain't in order. Yeah. Oops, almost took that exit. That would have been ugly. We still have 140 plus miles to go. Now, one thing I want to do, I'll wait till we a little bit further. I want to go to the home screen and see the distance that this original route was, and compare that with how many miles I actually get. Because one of the complaints I had before, I thought it was just convoying, but it could have also been the map. According to Pilot, the scale is off a little bit, so it messes up your how many miles you get. We did a convoy, I think it was the last coast-to-coast convoy, at least the last one I remember. We went from somewhere up in the northeast, thought it was Maine, but it might have been like Massachusetts or something, all the way out to Sacramento or San Francisco, I forget which. lost 500 miles off of what I anticipated the whole route to be. So let's see what it says. It was 1,800 miles. So we've already gone over 1,700 and we still have 100 to go, over 100 to go. So that's 18, it's over 1,800. But we'll see how much I actually get. Yeah, Thor, that's almost kind of like the fire department showing up at your house just to tell you your house is on fire. Thanks for coming over here and stating the obvious. So I know that Coast to Coast is actually selling space on these billboards. So they are making some money, and that's good. I'll keep updating it. Well, we talked about it, Pilot. I think TK brought it up. He was, last time I remember discussing it, he was gonna talk to whoever was handling that, and we just never did, or I don't know whatever happened with that. Doesn't mean I still couldn't reach out to him, I suppose. I wonder how effective it actually would be. Ooh. Gotta watch out for that. Do you know anybody who has advertised on the billboards in here and had any results? We are almost there. Durham discovered. 26 miles to go. We have an exit coming up. Raleigh. You know, there's a place in Southern Virginia, not too terribly far off of Interstate 81. The place I went to a few times, picked up tires. Can't remember the name of the place off the top of my head, but I would spy it on a map immediately. Can we see the Atlantic Ocean in this game with coast to coast, I wonder? I don't know about comparing it to the Pacific. I mean, it's bluish and it's wet. I guess the Atlantic does look a little different than the Pacific. I noticed that, like in Florida. It did look a little different. I can't even describe it. But I would say California beaches look a little different than Florida beaches on the Atlantic coast. And even on the Gulf Coast of Florida looks different than the Atlantic coast of Florida. Six miles to go. I see the flag. Oh yeah, Norfolk. I got to go to Norfolk a couple of times. Here comes our delivery. And I did get to the Outer Banks. I don't remember if that was North Carolina or what. Or I got near there anyway. Whichever ones you can drive out to. Of all things, I think I was delivering hot tubs. Oh, there it is. I missed it. Well, I guess we can just back in from here. Yeah, I picked up a load of hot tubs. I don't remember where that was. Maybe Virginia. And took them out to the Outer Banks area, I think of North Carolina. I think. A little close to that stack of pallets there. Yeah, wide load. Is it? Am I getting a? I'm not even on that tire and it's acting like I'm hitting it. Yeah, the hitbox for the cargo, I think, is messing me up. Let me move over a little bit. Geez, still rubbing up against it. And I'm clearly a few feet away. Okay, we have driven 1,821 miles. 21 miles. That you should be able to see that up there on the blue strip up in the top. 6.8 miles per gallon. That's pretty good. We were over 7 at one point. Driving across the flatlands. 1811, that says. See what it says on Trucky and TrucksBook. Trucky is what I care about. I'm sorry, TrucksBook is what I care about for this. Check my log entry for this run. Farmington to Raleigh. Do I need to come back out of here? 1,811. Nice. Let me look at a map quick. Where can I go to? Late in the day, there's a garage there. I don't want to buy a garage. Oh, truck stops. Yeah, I'll go there. But I'll do that after because we're running long. This was a nice run. Let's just do a recap quick. All the way from Farmington down to Albuquerque and pick up Interstate 40 and take Interstate 40 all the way here. Yep. Norfolk, by the way, we were talking about that earlier. So Norfolk or Wilmington. Those are the places closest to the ocean. Yeah, I have been there. Actually, I took a U.S. highways from roughly here across over to Norfolk. That's how I got there and back. I also took, that bridge and tunnel that goes across here up to Maryland. Is that Maryland? This is Delaware, New Jersey. Yep. Thanks, Vigner. Let's see. All right. That's going to do it. Sorry for that. Let me get into the this. Got 38 likes. That's pretty good. I don't know how many people are here now. Oh, I'm sorry. We have 32 likes. We have 38 people in the audience right now and only 32 likes. So if you like this kind of stuff, if you'd like to see more of it, hit the like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on notifications of future events, live streams, videos. Got 2 Swifties today. Thanks for the gifted membership, Susan, and the tip from Drive, and the super chat from Hogwash. We'll see you all tomorrow.